So, today in this session, we are going to see how to configure DBT with Snowflake. Okay, so you understand that the purpose of DBT. Okay, so DBT is a widely used tool for performing transformations. Okay, so it is at what we can say, it is basically used, or it is the purpose of DBT tool is to perform transformations. Okay, so basically when you extract data, load it into a data warehouse. Okay, at that time inside the data warehouse, to perform transformations we use DBT tool. So in this video we will quickly see how to configure DBT with Snowflake. We will have a Snowflake trial account. Okay, I will configure DBT on local Ubuntu machine. Then perform the configurations steps, and then see output of transformations uh, basically performed in Snowflake. Okay, so we'll execute the steps locally. Our DBT will be configured with the Snowflake account, and after performing all the steps, we'll get to see the result of those transformations in the Snowflake, what we can say, screen, in the Snowflake basically. Okay, so let's get started, and let's see how the thing happens. Okay, so I'll quickly perform steps. I'll create folders for the installation of DBT, and then we'll also set up the project. Okay, so basically I'll need two, uh, what we can say, folders, one for the virtual environment and another for the actual DBT project. Okay, so here I'm going to create, with the help of mkdir, okay, DBT. Okay, mkdir DBT env snowflake. Okay, so I have given the name to my and virtual environment folder as DBT env snowflake. Okay, so that's created. I'll go to that folder, env snowflake. Oh, sorry. Okay, so here I'm going to create the virtual environment, python hyphen m env vnv. Okay, so the virtual environment is created. Okay, then I'll activate the virtual environment, vnv bin activate. Okay, so virtual environment, in the folder, in the directory dbt env snowflake is activated. Okay, now we'll create another folder, mkdir dbt projects. Okay, mkdir dbt project. Okay, so yeah, the folder is created. I'll quickly go inside this folder, DBT project. Okay, I'm there into this. One second, I just made a mistake. I have to create DBT project outside the DBT environment Snowflake, DBT env Snowflake folder. So I'll quickly remove this folder, rm. Welcome. One second. Rm DBT project. Okay, ls minus ltr. Okay, we have this. Okay, so I'll come outside. and then I'll create the folder mkdir dbt project. Okay, that's it. Then I'll go to inside this folder dbt project. Okay, and here I'll do sudo apt update 0489. Okay, so I'm just updating my system. Okay, then sudo apt upgrade from y. Okay, that's also done. Okay, so basically now we have this. So we have created a virtual environment also. Okay, so now we'll install DBT Snowflake, what we can say, adapter. Okay, so we'll go in our previous folder, that is cd dbt hyphen env Snowflake. Okay, so here I'm going to install the DBT Snowflake adapter. Okay, the pip install DBT Snowflake. Okay, so it is getting installed. Okay, yeah, that's it. That's done. So we'll check the version, DBT version that's being installed. That was installed. Okay, so we have the Snowflake up-to-date version that's installed 1.11.5. So we have installed the adapter, Snowflake DBT adapter, so that it will help us to connect with the Snowflake account. Okay, so whatever transformations, execution steps we are going to execute here in the local Ubuntu machine, as it will be connected to the Snowflake. So the transformation executed will reflect the changes, or the output will be reflected in our Snowflake account. Okay, so that's done. We have also checked the version, so it is successfully installed. So, okay, right. So one thing, you need to have a Snowflake account. Okay, so a trial Snowflake account you have to create. Okay, that is needed in order to see the output. Okay, so without a Snowflake account, this even though we perform the steps, it will not be reflected there. It will throw an error. So before starting up this installation steps of DBT, kindly create a Snowflake account so that you can see the output of your steps. Okay, so let's after this step, okay, I will go to the folder dbt project, cd dbt hyphen project. Okay, so it's there, right? uh, Now we'll perform the next steps. So we'll initialize our project inside this folder. So dbt init, I'll give the name of the project, that is e-commerce underscore dbt. So I've chosen the name as I've selected the name as e-commerce underscore dbt. Okay, so yeah, I'm initializing it inside this folder. I'll press enter. Okay, so yes, so already for profiles I've installed. Okay, so profiles.yml file is there created. Okay, so it says already exists because I have previously also created this project. So uh, it's there in my system. That's why it is asking me it already exists and whether it can continue with overwriting it. Okay, so when you first time is you will install, you will initialize the project. First time the profiles.yml file will get created. Okay, so I'll say yes, overwrite it, and it is asking the profile e-commerce already exists, which database you would like to use. So we have configured Snowflake. That is the reason that's the only option available. I'll have to press give the number. That's one. That indicates that it is going to use Snowflake. Okay, so it is asking me for Snowflake account and all the details. So when you create a Snowflake account, all the details will be available in the profile. Okay, so you can select the profile and on all the details will be available. I'll go to my Snowflake account, then I will grab all those details in my profile. Okay, as a in my account, and I'll place those details over here. Okay, okay, so I'll go to the account details. Okay, so I'll place the account details, place the username, copy. Okay, it is asking how to authenticate what through what type of authentication is needed. So I'll say I'll need password. I'll enter the password. The password is invisible. Okay, role. So basically, account admin role, the role which has been given to you by Snowflake when you create the account. Warehouse. I'll say compute underscore wh. So this is the warehouse which is default provided to you when you create a Snowflake account. Okay, so default database it is asking. So default database is 1 minute. So whatever database I'm having, I'll use that one. So default database, I have created database. I am going to use that. So whenever you are interacting with Snowflake, I would recommend that you create your own database and do all those steps or writing queries or executing queries in that database. Okay, so create your own personal database. So I have created this one. I'll write the schema that is public. Okay, the publicly available schema. Threads I'll say 4. So I'm giving a multi-threading option. Okay, so the profile.yml template and your supplied values. So I have to now run the dbt debug steps. Okay, it is giving an error. One error. It is saying that dbt underscore project.yml not found. Okay, no problem. ls minus ltr commerce logs. Okay, 1 second. So this file is needed, dbt underscore project.yml. Okay, so let's say ls cd e-commerce underscore dbt. Okay, so here is the file ls minus ltr. So you can see dbt project.yml file is located here. So here we are going to run the dbt debug command. Okay, so now it has executed successfully without giving any error. You can see that all the checks are passed. So when you create initialize your project inside the folder, so go inside the initialize project, and there you execute this dbt debug step. Okay, fine. So that's the thing we have done. That's the major part we have completed. Okay, so let's go to the first model. We'll create our first model, first step, transformation step. So I'll quickly go to the folder. I'll list down the folders which we have inside cd e-commerce underscore dbt ls minus ltr. Okay, so now we'll go into the models folder, cd models. There we are going to create our transformation step. Okay, our tables, uh, basically table, not transformation steps, but we are going to create the table. Okay, that will be used for transformation. So quickly I'll go, I'll say nano customers dot sql. Okay, I'll paste the query, a small query for to just test the transformation. So here I'm writing a small query for execution to check whether everything goes well. Okay, and we'll quickly come back to our folder, and here I will run dbt run, so that will get created. So it is registering. Yes, the first model got created and it is giving a success. Okay, then let's come to the, and now we'll again go to the same folder models. Okay, I'll create a orders query, and then we are going to run the same dpt run option to configure that uh, query or that particular table in our model, so that we can use it for perform transformations step. So we need tables, we need data inside the table. Okay, so generally after extraction, you load the data. So you load the data and you have a schema, or we can say tables there in the warehouse, and you load the data into that what we can say tables. Okay, so that's the what we can say schema on read operation. Okay, so here I'll quickly create another query, paste, control X. Okay, so that also done. So coming back to our folder, CD, I'll say come back, go to the previous e-commerce DBT where the project exists, and quickly run this DBT run command so that whatever table or query we have created, that will manifest in our project. Okay, so that's, yes, it's running and it is completely successful. Okay, so that's the story so far. uh, and now we are going to create our transformation. Again, the transformation part also we are going to create in the models folder. Okay, so nano, then say customer underscore orders dot sql. So here is the transformation part we are going to execute. Okay, paste. So basically here is the transformation. We are joining the two table customer and orders, and it is taking the reference or the customer table and orders table from the models which we created in our previous steps. So it is going to take the reference from that tables. Okay, the queries which you manifested by executing dbt run command. So control X, save with them. Okay, into nano editor. Then again same, come back to the previous folder, run dbt run command. So it will quickly execute those steps. Yes, successfully completed all of them. Okay, so we have completed the major things. Okay, so if you want to add test cases, you can, we'll add a test case. Okay, to perform the test. Go to the model folders, then nano, say schema dot yml. Okay, then let's say we'll put our yml file, the test case, the customer. So what is the test case over here? That the customer should be id should be unique and the name should be not null. Okay, it should be unique and not null. Okay, that's the query for, that's the test case for the customer id. If it finds null, then it's going to throw an error. That's the story. Okay, we'll say dbt test. Okay, so we say it is saying fail. The reason it is failing, fail one, not null. Okay, so it is saying not null, but basically somewhere in the output it might have find some null values. That's the reason it is failing. Okay, so we can see these results in the Snowflake. Okay, so we'll quickly go um, to the Snowflake to see this output. Okay, so whatever steps we have executed, we'll quickly go and check the steps in the output, and we can confirm. So whatever we steps we have executed are in correct manner and they are giving the correct results. So we will quickly see that we integrated, configured DBT with Snowflake, and we carried out the transformations. So we'll see the output on the in the Snowflake. Okay, so I'll just go to the SQL query tab. Okay, so so here I have selected the database. Okay, schema is public. Then warehouse is compute, underscore wh, then account admin role. Okay, so uh, so if I say e-commerce public and the transformation, so this was the transformation customers underscore order, okay, that we performed in the DBT. So we created customers model, orders model, and then perform a transformation by joining the two table, customers and order, and we gave name to that SQL query as customers underscore orders. So that same is reflected here in our window. Okay, I'll execute and let's see the output. Okay, we can see there was one customer created and the order, respective order has been created. Okay, so we have combined these two tables. So such kind of transformations we can perform uh, inside the data warehouse, and this is the data warehouse, Snowflake. So we, from our local Ubuntu system, we configured the DBT tool integrated with the Snowflake. We provide all the credentials of Snowflake while configuring DBT tool, and that the same things are reflected over here. Even you can see the uh, customers table. Okay, then you can even see the orders table and even other models which are available. Okay, so these were some default models. My first underscore DBT model, my underscore second DBT models. Okay, so these all were available in when we configure DBT. These customers and orders and customer underscore orders. These three models we created to see the actual working of transformation in Snowflake. Okay, so this is how we can configure DBT with Snowflake. Thank you very much.